Jeff Bezos' most outrageous business failures. Hey guys, today we'll list Jeff Bezos' most outrageous business failures. Let's get right into it. Number 1. The Amazon Fire Phone. In 2010, Amazon became increasingly concerned about the loss of revenue from mobile app stores. To close the financial gap, they decided to try to connect mobile users directly to their product. When Amazon released the Amazon Fire Phone in 2014, they realized their vision. However, the product was a failure due to superficial goals and poor planning. Rather than considering the big picture, which could have led to success, the goal of the creation was to recoup lost revenues. Because of its limited perspective, the Amazon team failed to recognize the true value of a smartphone. As a result, Amazon conceded defeat and pulled the product 3 months after it debuted. The company lost $170 million while developing the Fire Phone. Bezos has openly discussed the reasons for the failure of the Fire Phone. He admits that Amazon should have spent more time researching the product and its target audience. In an interview with Business Insider, he states that one of his many jobs is to encourage people to be bold, which can be incredibly difficult. He sees the Fire Phone as an experiment on a list of failed ideas and products in order for another to succeed. Number 2. Pets.com and Cosmo.com. Amazon has decided to put money into Cosmo.com and Pets.com. This was part of the company's strategy to diversify its product offering in order to attract new customers to the place where customers can find, discover, and buy anything online. Partnerships were mutually beneficial for both Amazon and their partners because they provided a new source of low-cost revenue for the e-commerce giant Amazon, as well as a way for the company to gain exposure for their products. Amazon purchased a 50% stake in Pets.com in 1999 and contributed to a $50 million round of financing for the pet supply company. He went on to invest at least $60 million more in Cosmo.com. Nonetheless, the online retailer only lasted a few years before closing. Number 3. Antitrust issues. On July 29, 2020, the world was turned upside down when Jeff Bezos and 3 other tech leaders testified on antitrust issues. Bezos came under fire after third-party sellers expressed their displeasure with how Bezos spoke about them during the hearing. While he emphasized that Amazon's retail success is dependent on third-party sellers, Bezos also stated that the sellers were successful due to Amazon's tools. They were irritated because it appeared that his statement was not genuine. While this may appear to be a minor issue, it had been simmering for quite some time. One example is when a seller's account was suspended. There was a breakdown in communication, which reduced his sales by 90% in just one day. The seller openly expressed his disdain by saying, "There are times when I wonder, how does a trillion-dollar company not solve certain pieces of this puzzle? They're used by many legitimate businesses." Number 4. Books getting deleted. When Amazon remotely deleted digital editions of 2 books from the Kindle devices of readers who had purchased them in 2009, the internet went crazy. They were removed because the company discovered that it lacked the necessary rights to them. Even when Amazon had to devise a strategy, they knew the deletions were a bad idea. Nonetheless, they proceeded to remove the illegal copies from their systems and customers' devices, as well as refund customers. This appears to be a minor issue that any company would have to deal with. Nonetheless, when consumers took to the internet to voice their concerns and leave product and service reviews, it created quite a stir. Customers were leaving negative feedback on online forums. They were also looking through Amazon's published Kindle Terms of Service agreement for contradictory statements that did not give the company the right to delete purchases after they were made. They were dissatisfied because while Amazon and its retailers cannot cancel a physical purchase, they appear to have a unique tether to its digital content. Number 5. Conflict with Hachette Book Group. Following that, Amazon got into a public feud with one of its publishers over a contract dispute. They wanted to renegotiate Hachette's contract terms after it had expired, with the primary condition changed. When the conditions were not met, Amazon decided to extend Hachette's contract regardless of its current terms, but made digital sales impossible. Amazon's strategy at the time was to block pre-orders for many of Hachette's books and slow down the product delivery time of the available print inventory. As a result, Hachette's ebook sales fell, but they remained adamant about maintaining their product freedoms. Many authors backed up their claim by accusing Amazon of deliberately undermining Hachette's book sales and endangering authors' livelihoods. They even demanded that the Department of Justice investigate Amazon for illegal monopoly practices. Hachette ultimately settled the lawsuit because they knew they couldn't afford to defend themselves in court. It did boost Amazon's book sales because the outcome increased the company's ability to keep prices low. Hachette, on the other hand, was not going down without a fight. When Amazon wrote a letter to Hachette authors, they suggested that they not be put in the middle of the dispute and that Amazon would give them 100% of ebook profits until the situation was resolved. Hachette disagreed, referring to the terms as suicide. This is because they desire to be able to control the price. Furthermore, the only way to respect authors and ensure that literature will continue to be published is to set prices based on the author's merit, release date, and so on, rather than the $9.99 that Amazon wanted to charge for all ebooks. That's all for today, and we'll be sure to catch you all in the next one.